What's up, guys, and welcome, you crazy daily theologians that think family is important, that training up children is the parent's job, and that humanity needs Jesus Christ. That puts you more and more in the minority, at least in academic circles. I want to cover the Loudon County, situation that's going on there with CRT, as well as another parent named James Lindsay. So you can see that people across the country are gathering and standing up together to say, no mas, we do not like this. So check this out. So it's now on to gym teachers, and I'm going to show the video of James Lindsay, which is very, very good, speaking to his school board, I believe about an elementary school. But first, Tanner is the gym teacher here in the picture that was fired by his school board and then reinstated by a ruling. But he basically said that he wouldn't affirm a biological boy can be a girl and vice versa because it's against my religion, it's lying to a child, it's child abuse, and sinning against our God. And to that I say, he's exactly right. He's saying what every church, every Christian should be saying. This is wrong. It doesn't mean we don't love the people that are caught in this type of lifestyle, but we fundamentally disagree. And for people that claim to be tolerant, that should be okay. We disagree that this is right and good. It's not right and good. Just like people that disagree with us would say, well, you're not right and good. The difference is tactics. And I'm going to do Michael Knowles' Speechless book so you can get a better grasp on why people are operating the way that they are, but that's for a different video. But this one is where it's at right now. He says public schools have no right to suspend someone simply for respectfully providing their opinion at a public meeting. Tyson Langhofer, an attorney and director of the ADF Center for Academic Freedom, said in a response to the district's appeal, the lower court's decision ordering Tanner's reinstatement was a well-reasoned application of these facts to clearly establish law, so there's no reason for the Virginia Supreme Court to take this appeal. The school district wants to force Tanner to endorse its ideals and shut down any opposing views that violates the Constitution and laws of Virginia, and so did the school's move to place Tanner on leave, which to that you may be feeling like this guy right here, just smashing your head against the wall. What's going on in the country? Well, there is a communist ideology that is being pushed across the country, and it's being called something that it's not, which is tolerance, which is not tolerant towards reality and towards God. So here's James Lindsay speaking out to his school board, and he does an excellent job. Check this out.
Here at the Caledonia School District, it's very apparent here by all of the parents that have spoken that this board and the school district is failing. More importantly, I came here to talk about critical race theory. This theory was never meant to be brought into grade schools, high schools, at all. It's actually taught in the collegiate atmosphere, and more importantly, the legal portion of the collegiate atmosphere, to see different laws through the lens of race, from an ethics and an ethical standpoint, right? Not for grade schools and high schoolers. The problem with bringing it to high school and grade school level is that we don't have the educators to properly teach these kids. Instead, they're using it as their own agenda to indoctrinate the kids to hate each other. And whether you believe that to be true or not, the reality is that's what's happening. Critical race theory is teaching that white people are bad. That's not true. That would teach my daughter that her mother is evil. You already have an educator within your staff that has pulled my daughter aside and said, well, you're a minority, so you know better than to engage in certain things.
Wow.
Whoa.
When I was brought to the school's attention, nothing happened to that educator. Instead, my daughter was brought in, and she was ridiculed. So my question is now, with critical race theory being brought in, what is your criteria to educate the educators? And who are you to educate my children, or any of our children, in life issues? That's our job.
Yes.
Your job is to teach them math and science. Our job is to teach them about life. I believe racial issues and tensions across the U.S. are nowhere near what they used to be decades ago. Do we have a long way to go? Sure. Do we still have individuals out there that need to be taught? Absolutely. But I believe the people here don't look at me as a black man. They look at me as a man standing in front of you addressing an issue that we all are very passionate about.
That's right. That's right.
Well said to James Lindsay. Exactly right. Spot on. He's right on, and that's exactly how we should reason with these school boards. Now, the question is, will it be received? Will they respond as public servants, or will they respond as indoctrination camps, and which we feel like this. Back to this guy. But it is really the way that we have. It's a democratic process. You want to make your voice heard, and that is what we can do. The other options would be homeschooling or organizing groups to stand up and say no CRT in our schools, because really this is an attempt to get the next generation and the following generations. And once this gets mainstreamed, it's pretty much over for the country, in my opinion, because now you've restructured reality, you've indoctrinated a generation, even more so, and we've seen this with evolutionary ideology and other things that has really damaged people's ability to think rightly. It's axiomatic from creation that there is a creator. You cannot get creation without a creator. Information always requires a mind. Life comes from life. Therefore, God exists outside of time and space, created time and space. And when you look around and see the amazing design of the biggest tree or the smallest cell, you know that God created. And so they've already been under this attack for some time, and now it's attacking morality, family, and trying to tear that down, really, to break it down so that they can restructure and re-grab all the power. And it's demonic. It really is demonic. Tanner's views, the gym teacher from Loudon County, might seem extreme, but that is exactly true. And it's not evil to say this is true. It's actually evil to say a lie is true, which is what's basically happening in all of our culture. People are being rewarded for lying, stealing, killing, and they're being championed as heroes. They're just so noble. It's a noble cause, but it's not a noble cause. It's demonic, and it's evil to tear down kids in the family. So the solution, of course, is the gospel. The solution is the death, burial, and resurrection of the God-man Jesus Christ. The solution is repentance and faith in the one that knew no sin but became sin, so that by him we might become the righteousness of God. Jesus Christ, the Lamb and the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the perfect, spotless one that lived a perfect, sinless life, bore infinite wrath in the hell that you deserve on the cross, died, and is risen and reigning. Unless God grants repentance, this trajectory we're on is not a good one. In fact, I had a video taken off and the channel warned for just talking about a guy drinking a coffee in Australia 2 days ago because it didn't fit the guidelines, because he got a ticket for drinking a coffee walking to his car, and he was not following whatever they thought the proper procedure was for someone to live and breathe in public. And I'll leave it at that, because basically they warned the channel and said, hey, that doesn't fit with what our narrative is, etc. So it's an interesting time we live in, and more the freedom to exchange ideas and actually communicate those ideas is being removed by force. And you see this a lot with Antifa, BLM. It's not an ideological movement. It is a total front-on attack to violently stop speech and ideas that they don't like. And it's working in a lot of ways. It's working because people don't know how to combat that with thought and idea and truth. And the reality is it's a hard issue. These people are at war with God, and we must show them love and kindness and grace. And I thought James Lindsay did an excellent job of being kind and loving. I wouldn't be surprised to find out maybe if he has some sort of Christian background. Not saying he is a Christian, but he seemed to handle that very kindly and very lovingly, which was very good. So that should be our temperament. Thanks for watching. And remember, if you're still watching this, to hammer that like button, like the 95 Theses, and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to reach a bajillion people. Thank you so much.